Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my most anticipated reads for November of 2017. So this segment, or this, I guess, series on my channel used to be called my pre-orders. But over the last few months, I've noticed that those books that I'm talking about that I have on pre-order, I am taking off of pre-order, and I generally don't pre-order very often anymore, if at all, for financial reasons. It can get very, very expensive. There's a lot of books that I talk about every month. There's a lot of books I want to put on pre-order, and it can get really, really pricey for the old bank account. So what I've decided to do instead, because I didn't want to get rid of it, I wanted to tell you guys what books were coming up that I was really excited about. So I know Missy from Binge Reader, she does a most anticipated every month. So I thought that I would kind of piggyback on that idea and do it as well. So these are all the books that I am most excited about that are coming out in November. So I have 10 books here to talk about, so let's get started. The first book, and as usual, I do talk about these in the order that they are released. So it's not like it's my most excited to my least excited, it's the order of release date. So coming out on November the 1st is A Very Merry Princess by Susan Mallery. This is book 2.5 in the Happily Inc. series, which is a series about a very small town, and the big business in that town is a business that deals with weddings. And this is a contemporary romance. This is a novella. Like I said, it's book 2.5 in the series, and I am very much looking forward to this one. The next one coming out also on November the 1st is another novella, and it is called The Rise and Fall of Reginald Everheart, and it's by Victoria Alexander, and this is a historical romance novel. It is book 1.5 in the Lady Travelers Society. That cover is just absolutely gorgeous, and I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. I did buy the first book in the series, but I haven't gotten to it yet, obviously. But I do plan to, so yeah, now I am anticipating the novella. Coming out on November the 2nd is I'm Yours by Melody Grace. This is the 4th book in the Sweetbriar Cove series. I believe, I don't think it's her, I think it's Melody Carlson that writes Christian romance. But this is, I think, just a typical contemporary romance. These are my bread and butter, my absolute favorite type. They are set in a small town, and I just love them, and I'm really looking forward to this book. I think I own the first 2 books in the series already. Coming out on November 6th is another small town romance series, but this is the beginning of a series. And this is Feels Like Home by Olivia Miles, the first book in the Oyster Bay series. And yeah, again, contemporary romance set in a small town. Favorite author. I've got a couple favorite authors, but 2 of them are actually bringing out books this month. So the first one, coming out on the 7th of November, is Holiday Wishes by Jill Shalvis. This is book number 4.5. It's another novella in the Heartbreaker Bay series. I have the first couple books. I already own them. I really, really need to get started this series. I'm hoping in 2018 to get caught up, because I just adore Jill Shalvis. Everything I read by her, I'm just loving her more and more. So that one I'm very much anticipating. Quite a number of holiday books I've noticed. Coming out on November the 7th is a new to me author, and at first this cover really kind of like drew me in. I thought it was really pretty, and that is One Day in December by Josie Silver. This is coming out on the 7th of November, and from what I read on the back of this, it's about a woman who she spies this guy, and she just kind of sees him at a quick glance, and she feels she knows in her heart this is the man she's going to spend the rest of her life with. Unfortunately, she's on a bus, and he is not. And the bus leaves, and she assumes she's never going to see him again. A year goes by, and she's at a holiday party at her best friend's house, and this best friend introduces her to her new boyfriend, and it happens to be that guy. So this one sounds really interesting, a really neat premise, and I'm really looking forward to this one. The next one coming out is a cozy mystery, and I have to admit, I just absolutely adore the title of this book. And it is called Not a Creature Was Purring, and this is by Krista Davis. This is book number 5 in the Paws and Claws mystery series. It comes out November the 7th, and it's a cozy mystery, and it's about a woman who owns, I think I haven't read any of the other books in the series, but I saw this one and I thought, okay, it's a holiday book, and holiday books always get me right away. And it just looked so adorable. I mean, come on, look at that cat and the dog taking a sleigh ride. That's just stinking adorable. I don't know much about this series, but I think it's set in a small town that's really, really animal friendly. I think that's what I read on the back of the book. But it looks great, and I think I'm going to go back and see if I can find any of the other books in the series and add them to my wish list, and then hopefully they'll come up on a deal, or I'll just pick one up for funsies. Next up, speaking of favorite authors, One Enchanted Moment comes out on November the 13th, excuse me, and that is by Sarah Morgan. This is book number 3 in the Puffin Island series. I am so thrilled that this book is coming out on ebook. So I read the first book in the Puffin Island series earlier this year. At First Sight, I think it was called. I can't remember. I'll put the title of it right here. The second book was also released for the Kindle, but they never released the third book. It was available as a print book in the UK because Sarah Morgan, even though most of her books are set in America, is actually a UK author. And they never released this, but now they are. Or if they did, it was part of like a collection of like 2 books or something like that. So this one's finally getting released on its own, and I'm so super thrilled about it. Like I said, third book in the Puffin Island series. I had stopped at book number 1 because I was so disappointed that you couldn't even get book 3 in ebook, and I didn't want to get to that point and then be like, well, now I can't read it. I have to buy it or whatever. So I'm now super thrilled that it's coming out. So my plan is for 2013 or 2018. 2013, what the heck? I think because this comes out on the 13th, that's what I was looking at. But in 2018 is to read book 2 and then book 3. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. Another one that looked like a lot of fun, it's another contemporary romance. It's called Wish You Were Mine by Sivec. Its release date is November the 14th. It is just a contemporary romance. It's a standalone. It's about, I guess, a second chance romance. And who doesn't love a good second chance romance? And it's a standalone novel, which in contemporary romance seems to be hard to come by lately. But I think I'm looking forward to this one. And it's a new to me author, which is always a lot of fun too. And last but not least, I already mentioned Sarah Morgan, but she's got actually 2 books being released this month. Now, to be fair, One Enchanted Moment is actually a re-release, in a way, because it's coming out now for the Kindle. I've noticed that when I go through my list, because I always love looking at what's coming soon for the Kindle, and I find a lot of books, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this author's bringing out another book, and then I realize it's a reprint, or they're re-releasing it for the Kindle, and at times, like I've said before, they change the cover, and in some cases they even change the title, which is a little disappointing. That's not the case for the Sarah Morgan One Enchanted Moment book, but I try not to include books that are being re-released because I want to get new releases only. But like I said, the One Enchanted Moment was kind of like a one-off because it is the first time in Kindle, and I think the first time we can actually buy it here in North America. All that being said, Sarah Morgan's new release is coming out this month as well. Moonlight over Manhattan. And this comes out on November the 28th. And it is the sixth book, in the From Manhattan with Love series. You guys know how much I adore this series. This is another Christmas one. So she did 2 books, 2 all throughout the year books, and then a Christmas book, which is Miracle on Fifth Avenue, which I will be reading in December. And then she actually did an online read for Harlequin, which I also plan on reading in December. And then she did 2 more books, like, set at different times in the year. And then Moonlight over Manhattan is another Christmas book. So my thought process is I'm going to read Miracle on Fifth Avenue in December, and then I'm going to space out the next 2 books throughout 2018. Like, maybe one, spring, and then one in the summer or the fall. And then I can get to Moonlight over Manhattan, which I think is the final book in the series, next December. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that, because yes, if you guys are new to my channel, I only read Christmas books at Christmas time. I cannot read them at any other time of the year. There have been times where a book's not necessarily a Christmas book, but you get to a scene or a part in the book that takes place over the holidays, and I kind of go, oh, I wish I'd known this. Like, I wish I'd known ahead of time that this kind of, like, a bulk of it took place at Christmas time or during the holidays. So I don't know what it is about me. That's my own kind of weirdness, but it's a thing, and it's a thing with me, and I'm perfectly okay with it. So what usually ends up happening is if I hit a series and there is a Christmas book, you know, coming up, I will have to hold off on the series to read that first and then continue on. So anyway, guys, that is it for my most anticipated for November. Please let me know in the comments below if there's any books that you are looking forward to that are coming out at any time. It doesn't just have to be in November. And until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Thanks for watching. Bye.